Hello everyone! We continue to study the work with the Trapcode Particular plugin. Today we will make such a logo animation that assembles a logo from particles. As always, let's start by creating a new composition. Immediately set its length to 8 seconds. Create a folder into which we will import the logo. Now let's import logos into it. We drag one of them into our composition. We adjust the size. We create a new composition, in which we will apply the appearance effect to the logo. Drag the logo composition into it. I'll take it out of the folder. Create a shape ellipse by holding Shift and Control to make it round. We make it larger than our logo. I remove the stroke. Apply the turbulent display effect. As you can see, it immediately changes the shape of the shape. Let's increase the amount and maximize the complexity. Here we have such a torn figure. Now let's add animation. Let's go to the middle of the video and activate the scale key. Now we go to the beginning and set the scale value to 0. This is the effect of the spreading spot we got. Selecting keys and press F9 and set some interpolation to make it look nice. Great. Remove the ruler and transparent background. Choose Track Mate, Alpha Mate Shape Layer. That's how our logo appears now. Now let's create a new main composition. Add a solid as background. Let's change the color to white. Duplicate layer. Rename it. Add a solid to which we will add the particle plugin. Changing logo layers in 3D. Because our particle plugin works immediately in it. Let's go to the beginning of the video. Set decrease to 0 particles in section. We activate the key and in the middle of the video we insert a large number of particles. And somewhere in a second we remove it to 0. So that by the end of the video the particles are over. Something didn't work out. because I set the composition background color to white. Now I'll change it to black. Okay. In the emitter type, select the layer. In the layer emitter, select the logo particle layer. And change the sampling layer to current time. Let's move on to velocity. Activate the key. At the beginning of the composition, set the value to -250, and in the middle of the composition we put 0. Go to the particle section and set life to 2. And pick up the sphere feather. Let's change the size a little and turn the size random by 100%. Now we have all particles of different sizes. Now go to the shading section and turn on Shadowlet for mine. And Shadowlet for auxiliary. This is such a parameter that simulates the darkening of particles. You see, there are such shadows from the particles. It seems to activate an artificial light source, and the particles create shadows between themselves. It is ideal for a large number of particles in one place. It gives volume to the composition. There is an impression that some particles are further in closer. Well, now the physics section. Our favorite turbulence field. And we change the effect size and effect position. Thus, we have created a diversity of our particles and their virtual location on the stage along the z-axis. Now we will set the rotation of our composition. Go to the World Transform section. Let's activate the keys X rotation W and Z offset W. Let's set 0 value somewhere in the 5th second, when the particles have already ceased to be generated. And at the beginning of the video we will put, for example, -250 and -350. Select our keys and press F9 to add temporal interpolation. With particles in SEC it is not needed. Now let's move the beginning of the logo animation around here. Oops, I forgot to hide the particle logo layer. And now we see a beautiful movement of particles. As you can see, they are now moving in a circle to the bottom. If we now increase the parameter z offset w, for example, twice, the travel distance along the z-axis has increased. The radius of the circle along which they move has increased. They started getting closer to us. This is so much more interesting. What do we see? We see that the particles have already disappeared, but the logo continues to collect. This is due to the fact that I did not guess with the beginning of the logo animation. I'll move it here. Checking. Almost, a little more, a little closer to the beginning. Great. Now let's add a camera. I will not change anything. The camera is 35 millimeters. At the 5th second, where the particles finish generating, I activate the camera position keys. And at the beginning of the video I will turn the camera. Something like this. Now the rotation of the particles has become more dynamic and grandiose. Add some blur to the composition with focus distance. Since we placed the logo in a separate composition, we can easily change it. It is enough just to adjust the size. This is done in the logo effects composition. Or increase the size of the shape scale. Or we reduce the scale of the logo. See you in the next video.